and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome to a meeting between two of the world's greatest clubs. Because when Barça meet Man United in a European competition, you've got to sit up and take notice. This is a game that belongs on the biggest stage. Now, this may be a Europa League clash, I'm well aware of that, but this game would not look out of place in the Champions League and in the latter stages of the Champions League. And that's no exaggeration, because these two teams right here, they're exciting. They're on right now an upward trajectory. They have extremely exciting players, and they're both bang in form. And that is why today we are continuing with the build-up to this game, the history of this fixture, the form of the two teams, the key players, and all of the predictions. Because as you can see already from the members, 2-0 Barça is looking like a popular choice. But will that be the score on Thursday? I'm going to be giving my thoughts and my prediction too. It is all coming up for you. So come on! And let's do it. Because yesterday on the channel, guys, I did release there the full tactical preview for this game. And if you haven't seen that video yet, maybe check that one out first before following on here with the match preview. But if you have now seen both of them, well, thank you indeed for that fantastic support. Because on Thursday night, live from the Camp Nou, it is Barça versus United. And I would expect there a huge crowd inside of the stadium and a huge atmosphere as well. This is a game, this is a fixture that people want to be part of, that people want to experience, and we are really, really excited about it. But please note, guys, kick-off on Thursday, it's the earlier slot. We are playing there at 6:45 p.m. local time, and I wanted to bring that to your attention because I don't want you to miss a minute of this. I don't want you to tune in at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock there and suddenly miss it. We are the earlier kick-off time. And just to clarify, this is effectively here the playoff round in the Europa League. That replaces the old round of 32 in this competition. The winner here of this tie over the two legs will then progress to the round of 16, where the rest of the Europa League group stage winners will be waiting. And although this might be the Europa League, there are big teams in action, historic clubs in this competition this season. Arsenal are already waiting in the round of 16. On Thursday, you've got Ajax in action, Juve, Roma, and Sevilla, of course, with Barça and United as well. It is a stacked competition this year, but make absolutely no mistake, this is not the competition where these two teams belong, because you don't have to look back far to remember some truly epic Champions League ties between Barça and Man United. Of course, you had the 2009 final in the competition, Samuel Eto'o and Messi with the goals on that occasion, that of course securing the treble for Pep Guardiola's incredible team that year that went on to win everything there is to win in club football. In 2011, we had a repeat of the same final, that coming at Wembley Stadium. Barca, though, coming out 3-1 winners. It was a stunning performance, one of the best that I've ever seen, with Pedro, Messi and David Villa on the score sheet. And the most recent meeting there between these two, again in the Champions League, in the quarter-final stage back in 2019. That at the Camp Nou there in the second leg saw Messi scoring twice and a long-range goal from Coutinho as well. It was a 3-0 win at the Camp Nou and a 4-0 win on aggregate. But of course, after those games, these two teams have been on a downward trajectory. Things haven't been going well on the field, off the field as well for both of them, until the arrivals of Xavi, the arrivals of Erik ten Hag. And these two have transformed the fortunes of these clubs this season. Both coaches, very innovative, very exciting, attack-minded coaches. You can see there that Xavi does have this season the slightly better win percentage than Erik ten Hag, but both teams have been very, very impressive. And of course, changes had to be made in order to sort of bring about these revolutions, in order to really improve. There have been big signings on both sides. You look at Man United, what they've been doing in the transfer window. Big fee paid out there for Anthony, a man that Erik ten Hag knew well from his time at Ajax. Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez, though they've been the really key signings for me for United. Those two adapting seamlessly to what ten Hag wants from his team. And Eriksen on a free has been a really astute signing as well, because right now Man United are third in the Premier League. They're certainly putting pressure on Arsenal and Man City in the title race. Whether or not they're firmly in that race right now remains to be seen, but it's still significant improvement on last season. But I think it's interesting when you're looking at the stats with United, where they rank this season in terms of the Premier League teams, because although they're third in the league, for the majority of the stats there, they're 5th and 6th. You know, for a lot of things in terms of goals scored, goals conceded, the possession they have in games, they're not really right up the top in terms of the stats, but they're very efficient. That's what they've been this season. Really efficient in front of goal, winning games, fighting until the end, of course. And it's interesting as well to see their crosses and corners per game. Do not expect many balls into the box and wide areas. That is something we haven't really seen at all from Ten Hag, which is interesting. When it comes, though, to Barça, of course, we did our own bit of spending in the summer as well. We had some big names that drew a lot of attention in the footballing world. Rafinha coming in there for a big fee. Of course, Koundé and Lewandowski have been absolutely tremendous signings for the club so far. And one really underrated one there, Andreas Christensen, on that free transfer. What a signing that has been for us. And he's going to play a really key part at the heart of our defence in this game. And those signings have certainly improved the team and the squad and what Xavi has been able to do this season, which means that right now, as it stands, Barça are clear at the top of La Liga by 11 points over Real Madrid. And that marks a sensational turnaround from last season. We've had 11 successive wins. We're 16 games unbeaten. And we haven't lost a game since October. But that's the thing. And this is the big point that I would make. And why this, for me, is so important for Barça. And so important, it's kind of time to prove ourselves outside of La Liga. That is the big question of this team right now, because I know plenty of people would say, but you didn't make progress in the Champions League. You were knocked out of the Champions League. You're in the Europa League. There's still a lot for this team to prove. And there is. We did have injuries, of course, in the Champions League. That, for me, is something that's often forgotten there. But that's the thing right now. We've got our players available. We do have Busquets out. We do have Dembele out. But in terms of our defence, we are ready to go. And this feels as though it's a big moment for Xavi, a big moment for these players to say, we had our slip-ups in the Champions League. Things didn't quite go our way. But now we're ready. We can stand up here against a team that's top quality. You look at the form in 2023, and the team that we're facing here is right up there with the most informed teams in the world. Forget about the competition. Forget about the Europa League. This is a top clash, a top game in which we have to stand up and announce the message to the footballing world that we are back. Because speaking indeed there about absences and injuries, I don't really think Barca can complain too much about ours, given that Man United have a whole host of players on the sidelines here. Lisandro Martinez and Sabitzer there, both of those players are suspended. Eriksen is out injured, along with McTominay, Antony, and indeed Anthony Martial. So Erik Ten Hag there has a number of selection issues coming into this game, which is not ideal for Man United. And we spoke yesterday about how they're expected to line up along the back line there. You got Wan-Bissaka. That could be Dalot. We're going to have to wait and see which way Ten Hag goes. Varane and Shaw potentially there as a centre-back duo, with Malacia at left-back. Into midfield, it's going to be Casemiro and Fred, and you feel as though that combination, that's going to be key for Man United's chances in this game. How well those two work in midfield against what Barca are going to throw at them, with likely Sancho, Bruno, Rashford and Weghorst leading the line for United. But when you're looking at Barca, it is going to be Koundé, Araujo, Christensen and likely Balde along the back line. There have been some suggestions maybe it could be Jordi Alba bringing some experience to this game, but for me it has to be Balde at left back there. That is the back line that we want to be seeing. Then we're going to see four midfielders once again, Kessie and Frenkie de Jong in the holding role, Pedri more advanced, then Gavi off to the left hand side, Rafinha and Lewandowski completing the starting lineup. And I just think when you're comparing those starting lineups, when you're actually pitting them there head to head, one against another, for me, there's a clear winner. Barca come into this game here with, in my opinion, the better team. We are in form, much like United are. But given what we've proven to do this season in the league, how good our defence has been, on paper, we should be favourites. We deserve to be favourites it's about backing that up now. It is about coming into a game like this, accepting the pressure of this game, accepting the pressure of being the favourites, and ultimately delivering the win. We have the tools to do it. We have the players to do it. We've got the home advantage here on Thursday. Barça, for me, should win this game. A lot of people there thinking that we're going to win it by 2+ goals. Half of the people there thinking that's going to happen. Lots of people as well thinking it could be by 1 goal. We've seen a lot of that from Barça recently, but I am going to go there with Barça 2, Man United 0. I think Barça have enough quality, providing we can keep Rashford quiet. That is going to be the major challenge, as we spoke about in the tactical preview. But I do believe we can do this. And I do believe we have the quality to get the win in a big game and a big moment in our season. Please do let me know your thoughts. What are your predictions? How would you line up? And what are you expecting against Man United on Thursday night? I will see you soon, guys, for all of the reaction. Hopefully it's going to be a special one, and hopefully we are going to be celebrating in the aftermath. I will see you then for all of that good stuff. Thank you indeed for joining me here throughout all of the build-up. Your support has been outstanding. I'll see you then. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.